For real. Oh, really? That's how you feel?
The law of attraction is a lie. I'm about to reveal all my problems with The Secret. Let's find out. I have held off for a long time making this video. I was unsure whether I truly believed in the law of attraction or not. Yes, I could make like an information video about what it is, but that just seemed wrong. I feel like so many people are already capitalizing off of this idea, this theory, this law, and there's just something not right. I really encourage people to be skeptical and to keep, thinking beyond and asking questions about what is really going on here. Is ignoring social issues a good idea? Sweeping things under the rug? Is this just serving corporate interests? And are we really fully responsible for every single thing that's happening in our lives? Let's discuss it. Oh, before we leave this scene, thank you for joining me. Definitely thumbs this video if you enjoyed, and comment down below whether you believe in the law of attraction or not. Don't forget to subscribe because I post videos every single week about these spiritual, holistic health things and meditation. Now let's dive into it. Thank you so much for joining me back here at Radical Raspberry. I'm so grateful that we can have open-minded discussions about things like this, and that we're able to dissect things that even an entire spiritual community seem to be adopting. Like a quick search of the law of attraction and it's just like, it works, this is why it's not working, this is what's going on. Like, very accepted, I feel like, without people even like diving into it and like thinking about what are the repercussions that it could possibly cause when you adapt this belief system. Now, I learned about the law of attraction probably 4 or 5 years ago, and when I first heard about it, it really hit me. What really hit me is also the idea that time is not linear. Time is not linear. Every single thing is happening now. Every single thing is happening now through our thoughts and vibrations, emotions, and actions are creating the future. So if you don't know what the law of attraction is, a basic breakdown is that everything that we say is attracting into our life. Essentially, we are responsible for everything that's going on. Everything that has been brought into your life, good or bad, you have brought it into your life through your thoughts and what you're paying attention to. And so this can be very enlightening. This can be very like, aha, like I can take control of my life. It can be very empowering. And now I do believe that we create life's own meaning. Like, I really fall into the belief system of existentialism where like life is meaningless, but we create the meaning ourselves, because to me, feeling like we are responsible can be very empowering, because it's like, hey, like I can take life back into my own hands and I can mold it into what I want. And so I can see how law of attraction is very enticing in that way, and I do believe there is some truth to it, but I think things are very rarely like one way or the other. And I think with law of attraction, it's very drastically like, it is what it is. Like, it's very far off to one side. A big reason, there's my brother, hey. A big reason I haven't talked about this before is because it just does not sit right with me. Like, there's been something off about it. And now I've read The Secret. I've read The Law of Attraction by, who is that by again? I've read a lot about the law of attraction. Like, I know too much about it. A big thing that stands out for me is that if we all follow the law of attraction, we're not going to talk about things we don't want, right? So we're not going to be talking about things that are bad, like poverty and social issues and political issues and things that are going on that are bad, like that. If we just do not talk about any of these things, we're just sweeping them and we're putting them under the rug because, hey, like we don't want to attract them into our lives. I think for so long, political system, we have just let people do some sketchy things and we just do it and like we just ignore it and we just like do our own thing. We're like down here focusing on this, focusing on like good vibes, positive thinking, when we have people who are like corrupting the world that we live in. And if we don't talk about those things, how are we going to change any of it? It's very difficult for me to accept that when we talk about the issues that are happening in the world, we're creating more of them. Because what is the alternative to just ignore it and sweep it under the rug and then let the dust pile up. Like, people are gonna do shady things in like high positions, and we need to be able to discuss it. Now, something that I think is interesting about this, and that would kind of find like a middle ground between believing in the law of attraction and being able to discuss issues that you don't want to attract into your life, but you feel are important to bring up, to discuss, is the energy and emotion that we have behind it. So if you were discussing poverty in a feeling of lack, in feeling like, oh, like I really don't want that, then I can see how that would attract into your life. But if you're discussing it with more of like an open mind and trying to find a solution, then maybe you're going to attract the solution. So I find when we talk about issues, we kind of just talk about like how crappy they are and like it sucks and it's bad. But if we were to shift our energy behind how we're talking about it and to focus on the solutions, then maybe that's what we would attract into our lives. So for me, it's really about finding a middle ground between like, hey, the law of attraction to me, like a lot of things do make sense, and I really believe in like our thoughts and the power that they have, but I don't believe in how it can come across. And I see this on other people's videos who are talking about the law of attraction. People who are in poverty are like, hey, like this is a very privileged thing to be able to just say like, hey, like I think my reality into life, like you have had like so much given to you already to be able to do that. And so to me, like the law of attraction seems like a very privileged thing to believe in a way, where it's like people who are preaching about it are people who already have so much, you know what I mean? And then they're like telling all of these other people who don't have anything like, hey, it's your fault, like you just need to think your way out of it. Like a lot of times there are social factors and environment that, to me, I believe are out of our control, and that we're not responsible for those things, but we are responsible for how we are going to live our lives, right? So that does not sit right with me, because if we don't discuss what we don't want more of, because under the law of attraction, you do not discuss what you don't want more of, and obviously we don't want more political issues and poverty and, you know, corruption, but like, what are you going to do? Just sweep it under the rug and not talk about it? Under the law of attraction, we would not talk about it and somehow it would magically disappear. But for me, that just does not make any sense. And people are still going to continue to do these shady things, maybe because of my belief system, but that's how I see it. Under this belief system as well, then you believe that people who get raped, murdered, and things stolen from them, they attract that into their life. So it's essentially because somehow they were thinking about it or they watched a movie about it, and so it's like, hey, you're actually not a victim of rape, you brought that into your own life? Like, are you kidding me? Like, how am I supposed to believe that and adopt that belief? Now, like that's literally kind of just saying like you're asking for it, you know what I mean? Like you are asking for it because the law of attraction says, wait, you brought everything into your life. I do not think that is the case. And then when things in life happen, like somebody close to you dies, like how can you be like, hey, they were attracting that into their life. They were like, hey, thinking about, I want to get run over, so it's gonna happen. Like, we're not responsible for everything. Like, you can see it in our external world. Like, stuff happens all the time that we're not in control of. Like, we're not in control of other people's actions. Like, that's how it is. Like, that's how I see the world, and that's how I've believed about it for so long. And to me, what makes more sense, when we see plenty of things that happen that are out of our control. We see like natural disasters constantly that are happening. Like, how is it that somehow by you thinking you caused like a tornado nearby you? Like, that just does not make sense to me. It doesn't sit right. It seems like, hey, like if it seems again like this is how we just ignore it by just like thinking positive and like doing that, and then all these things will magically disappear. But that's not how it works, and that is not what has been happening thus far. It seems like all these people are like telling you to like look this way while all of this is happening over here, and it seems like it has become an enterprise that is serving corporate interest, if anything else. Like, I see all of these classes and these books and these things about it, and like, hey, like, your life's not working out right, this is why, buy this class and you can figure out. Like, people who are making money off of teaching people how to make money when that's the only reason why they've got money. So it seems like these teachers are telling you to like look over here and just like focus on this, and like if you bring up anything negative, it's like, hey, don't do that. You're attracting it into your life somehow. Like if you even talk about corporate interest too, it's probably like, hey, like that's not, like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Just hush hush. And like that's how it's going to go. That doesn't make sense to me. It seems like all of these people are kind of just serving something that does not sit right with me. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way. Like, let me know. Is it weird for you too? For me, there's something as a lottery of birth. We have no control over where, to whom, and who we are born into, like how we are born into this world, like what we look like. But I guess under the law of attraction, somehow we are, like, we're responsible for being born in a family of poverty, or to be born into a family that is rich. Like, how does that make sense? You know, it just does not sit well to me. I think there is a happy medium between, like, hey, you are in control and responsible of a lot of things in your life, but not everything. And I think the law of attraction makes it seem like you are in control of all of this, and also just like ignore all of the wrongdoings going on in this world, because somehow you're going to create more of it, and the only way to fix that is to just like look over here. And it just seems like putting your blinders up, and it just doesn't sit right with me overall. So that is my problem with the law of attraction. I hope you enjoyed, and tell me what you think down below. Do you wholeheartedly like abide by the law of attraction, like believe in it fully? Let me know, and definitely thumbs this video if you enjoyed. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I post weekly videos considering holistic health and meditation. I will see you next time. Don't forget to think beyond, and peace.